Have you been to like a rainbow gathering?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Rainbow family is my family.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, I love them.
I met in my journey um in the US. I met like some people that are like rainbowers. I don't know how you call it, but um yeah, and they kind of like exposed me, like I told you before, like I'm not coming from like a hippie background or stuff like that,
Yeah,
like
of course.
very normal, you know.
I understand you
Yeah,
so
very
much.
matrix, very inside the matrix. And they kind of like shared with me like their whole like experience with rainbow, and they're like they opened my eyes. And then I heard like some not very good things like from people who either been there or know about rainbow, or like it's not really like people say, like there's a lot of like negative aspects. So I don't know, I haven't been to like any rainbow gatherings, so maybe you can.
Well, rainbow gatherings nowadays they are so widespread, but so widespread. Like in the United States, like where it was like first held the rainbow gathering, like you just have like 100 days gap without a rainbow. So in the United States, you can travel from rainbow to rainbow to rainbow to rainbow to rainbow. So it has gotten so big like that, like sometimes like people use this name rainbow to do some other stuff. I haven't been to the rainbows in the United States. I've heard bad things and good things about these rainbows.
Hmm.
But talking about the movement itself, there is everything. Like you can expect that the same problems that happen in here will happen in there. They're just human
Right.
beings.
Yeah.
They're human beings, and they have their struggles, and they have their their good sides. So it's you can find everything in the rainbows.
Right.
But I guess like if you don't make like your lifestyle like or your view of the world as they say, then the rainbow won't work anymore, because what is the difference between like a bunch of people camping in one side and a rainbow gathering? Like there is no physical boundaries. Like it's just the way you perceive.
Yeah.
And then like if you go there and you really want to get into this magic of rainbow, then like just the right situations and the right people will appear to you, and then you realize that like it's the same thing as outside as well. Like it doesn't matter. Like of course it's a really big human experiment. It's a really human experiment because you get like a thousand people that goes to a place really hidden in the woods, and then they live together as a community for a month, and it works out. Like it works. So they prove to themselves that it works.
And they don't bring like, you don't bring anything from the outside once you're in the woods, like
There
you.
are all kinds of people.
All kinds of people.
You can find anything.
Okay.
If you feel like of course you when my last one that I went was like a world rainbow gathering, so there was lots of people, like 2,000 people. It looks
Wow.
crazy. So
Where was
there
it?
it was in Colombia.
Colombia.
And then in there you can find really everything, like all kinds of people going crazy. you, Whatever you can imagine. Like it's a place that you are free. You are totally free. Like you are free to do anything. You're not denied. If you want to poop in here, you can. If you want to focalize a yoga session, you can. There's no hierarchy. And then you can find anything, like people expressing their most true selves. Like because there is no things that are going to deny you to be who you are in there. And then people who enjoys, who uses this thing to do bad things, and you
but
find
but
anything.
but is there like rules or like or guidelines, not like you can do whatever you want as long as you don't hurt someone else? Is there like something like that, or it's.
Well, I'm not like a rainbow like a addict,
Okay.
but there are as long as I know, there are like consensus,
Yeah.
like basically there are consensus.
Yeah.
because like without consensus, then you get really a mess, because like everything needs a kind of like an order. Nature has an order. If you see that like plants, they take from the ground like just what they need and nothing else, and then they respect the other plants. And it's natural to have an order in anything. If not, everything gets a chaos, and then it wouldn't exist.
Right.
So there are some consensus in there, like they use the full Toltec agreements once you're there, like be be unsinnable with your word. Always say what you think. It's
Be what? Be what? Sorry.
it's in English. It would be like be impeccable. Impeccable. You know this word is like just say what you feel from your heart.
Okay.
Something like this. And then do not take anything to the personal side. It's the second agreement. And the third one is like every task that you find is yours. Like if you find like that there are some dishes that has to be cleaned, like is yours. And for I can't remember more or less what is the fourth, but basically there are some four like agreements, that you
Guidelines is a good word.
guidelines.
Yes.
And then like there are some traditions. It wouldn't be even rules. It's just a traditions. Like a tradition, like every time that you go eat a meal, you do a circle. It's like a circular community. So everything happens in a consensus. Like we want to do a shit pit in one place, and if not, if the people, if there is everybody agrees but one does not agree, it's not possible, because it's like consensus. It has to be the most democratic thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there are like of course the traditional songs that there are in all the rainbows. There are like let me see what else. Some of these things that are like would happen naturally, in
Yes.
any human gathering. Like if you take like 100 people and put in one place, they would naturally create some rules, some guidelines.
Yes.
And these are kind of like the guidelines in there. But everything else, you're free. It's a free world. It's like it's a beautiful thing to see, because you see people free.
And
They're
and if in Colombia you were for a month at this gathering.
No, I stayed less than a month, but usually is more than a month in these ones. Like because there are the seed
Organizers.
camp is like okay, people go there like to create the kitchen, to create the spaces for people to camp. And then there is a gathering itself. It's like a lunar cycle. It's like the peak is at the full moon.
Mm-hmm.
There is ceremonies and all kinds of things. And there is like the cleaning camp, like in the end, like to clean all the land, and give to the mother nature again with the way that it came, and without any a footprint.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It's
That-
beautiful, man.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. So can you share some of the experiences or the highlights of your like of that gathering for you? Like how did it affect you?
Wow. How can I describe like this? You will, like being in there is naturally like being in a medicine, in a natural, like in a ayahuasca medicine, but without taking anything. You will see there like you notice how the karma law works, and like the time the almost like instantly, like the things that you give you receive, and you meet so much people, from they have so much different stories. And it's so fun. You go to like one group of people in there, and they're like singing, and they have the fire, and you go there, and then you meet people, and then you go to another place, and there's like totally different people doing something else, and then there are food, and then they give you food for free. And and in at the same time you see like people doing art, and then there is like another group doing yoga, and another people who there if you go to the river, there is like a 10, no, more than this, like 100 people like naked in there, like just bathing themselves, and there are lots of other people who are doing a trail. And if you it's crazy, man. It's like
Yes.
there's lots of things to do.
I think that I've never been to Burning Man, but right now, as far as I can see it, like Burning Man, like started with like a real like good intention, but it sort of spun out of control with the whole Instagram and everything. And now it's like I feel like that a lot of people like miss the point of like this coming and like you're saying like creating art and like building community and like doing a lot of good things. And maybe there still are like people that are doing those kind of things in Burning Man. And like I said, I've never been there, but from what I perceive, like from like like online presence and like people sharing it, it's like it's more of like a show of, oh, I've been to Burning Man, and I feel like that Rainbow is kind of still has this like the
Yeah.
the 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 genuosity.
Genuity.
Yeah, like it's still genuine. It's still real. It's like it didn't get commercialized yet. Like
Yeah, I know, because it's also like one of the guidelines of Rainbow that nothing is charged. Like you won't charge anybody.
mm,
And you won't deny anybody. Anybody can go. Anybody can leave. That you cannot say you can go. You cannot.
yeah,
Um, but like everything gets mainstream in a point. That's what I was saying to you about the rainbows in America. Like some of them has gotten so mainstream that they do lots of different things. But you kind of like notice this in everything that got so big. Like you can see this in great festivals like Boom Festival, or like all these crazy human gatherings that happens. But again, it's something just it has all to do about your perception.
yeah,
Like I can go to Burning Man and be like a crazy guy who takes ecstasies and just go there like to go to the electronic play party, and fuck and all of this. Or I can go there and like see the art, like I can go there and like show love,
yeah,
and then at the same time you realize that there are like the both worlds are there, but
yes,
it's just the way that you perceive things. And it also applies to everything in life. Like it doesn't mind like if you are like around nature and in a beautiful place, but your mindset is not in the same vibration.
absolutely,
And also the opposite, if you're good with yourself, like even if you're like in the middle of the Babylon, even if you're like in the middle of the big city, you're good, like you will see love in people, so it's all in yourself. And that's the thing that I keep on clicking, because like I have already like trying to giving up like trying to change the others, like the best thing and the only thing that I can do is like changing the way I do things, the way I perceive, the way I respond to situations.